Hey guys, James here again. This is me. What if Luffy had the rure-rure no mi, or the roulette fruit? This came from basically Rustage's One Piece D&D series. It's really good. You should just go watch it. It's on his channel, Rustage 2. Tekking's in it. I believe it's Tekking Bridge, Tekking Briggs, Lost Paws, and Too Spooky. And then Rustage himself. I believe they're all the ones in that One Piece D&D. And then Tekking's character William has the roulette fruit, which allows him to use multiple fruits that are canon and non-canon. But in this one, I kind of put down a lot of fruits from memory, which was insanely hard. I had fun on the charger; it was dead. So, yeah. So I had to do this all from memory while my phone charged. But then I did enough fruits to the point where I have like 3 papers full, and I believe I have currently 82 devil fruits written down. I have that many off memory. I can probably name the users as well, but I'm not going to do that at the same time. So yeah. Basically, this fruit would be a lot more rare than most other fruits. So yeah, this fruit's one of the better ones, as this one will actually be more rare than the Hitonomi Maronika. The fact that it contains so many devil fruits, you need to have impeccable luck to get said fruits. Like, this fruit contains the Goro no Mi, the Hito no Mi Maronika. It contains the Bomo no Mi. Just random fruits that are so overpowered, yet so some fruits that are so crappy that it doesn't matter. So yeah. Luffy uses this fruit, Shanks is still shocked. But for the first fruit that Luffy would use, I'm going to say it's very similar to the Hito no Mi still, so he used the Gomu no Mi or Hito no Mi still. And that's just his first fruit that he ate. But everyone knew it was like Luffy ate that fruit because, well, a giant roulette wheel appeared on his hand, rolled, got 1. So yeah. But yeah. Now this would go on to, I would probably say, like a bit past, probably past this to when Luffy meets Garp. Garp hears about Luffy's fruit, and then he's kind of shocked by it. Luffy has that exact fruit. The one that gives him power to destroy the world, or the one that make him probably the dumbest man alive. Who cares? Yeah. But now I can say we can go on to... But yeah, so we can probably go on to, I'd probably say like maybe we can say, I guess when like, there's a lot of this very similar in canon, until it comes down to Luffy's training, where Luffy would roll random fruits and begin using the abilities. As he tells us about how his fruit works and what the name of it is, or what the name of the fruit is and how it works. Which does actually shock Ace and Sabo. But yeah. But Sabo's like, a lot of these abilities seem pretty weird, because it does take a lot of skill to learn how to use every single one of them. So, how about this? You roll some, and I'll get you a few books, notes on how to use all these fruits. In the span of like 2-3 months, maybe even 4 or 5, Luffy learned how to use, well, out of the 82 that he has, he learned how to control roughly around 15. The 15 that I have written down that Luffy can control on a pretty average scale, actually. You're supposed to see that, press the wrong button. They're supposed to be basically Hito no Mi Maronika, Bada no Mi, or Buggy's fruit, the one that allows him to not be cut. Subi no Mi, which is Alvida's fruit, which allows him to, makes him really slippery, which also makes him not be touched. Compared to Alvida's, which makes it so he's not touched. Kilo no Mi, which allows him to go from like 1 kilo, or like it allows him to be as light as 1 kilo, or he can go to maximum weight being 10 kilos or 22,000 pounds. So yeah, he has the Bomu no Mi, or the bomb fruit that Mr. 5 has. He has the Hana no Mi, or Robin's devil fruit. The Wax fruit belonging to Mr. 5, or Mr. 3. Mr. 5 has the Bomu no Mi. Wax fruit belongs to Mr. 3, or Galdino. Munch fruit, or Walpole's fruit. He has the Mane no Mi, or the clone fruit of Mr. 2, or Bon Clay, or Bonchan. Then he has the spike fruit of Mr. Butterfinger, the one that impaled Nami like 3 times, and somehow she has no scars to show. The 11, which is the Supa no Mi, or the Dice fruit, which belongs to Mr. 1. Then he has the or the Orinomi, or I believe it was the cage fruit that belongs to Hina, the one that like makes sure to shut out these black bars that bind everyone. Then the smoke fruit, or smoker's fruit, or plume fruit. The spring fruit that belongs to Bellamy, and then the Goro Nomi, or Enel's fruit. He has control over all those devil fruits. And with you having to read and having like finally find a way to control all these fruits, it does take him like a while, but he has decent control over these fruits, like at an average scale. So yeah, so Luffy's currently pretty powerful. So with this, we go on to basically just Blue Jam's crew, and they do want to throw hands with Luffy, like they want to smoke with him on a very scary scale. And with this, it leads on to basically Luffy having to, well, first Blue Jam. I guess we can go on to like Blue Jam's crew, like taking him, Ace and Sabo. When it comes to that, well, Luffy doesn't need to stretch out or anything. He's actually able to just roll his fruit in his head, or make it like a roulette wheel up on like his hand or something. That'd be Luffy's like first quote unquote fight. Pause real quick. I'm gonna keep pausing just to like roll this fruit because my Chromebook is currently locking me out for the summer. I don't know why, but it is. So I can't write any more scripts on it, and I don't want to write from my phone. It will take too long. So we're gonna go from here. Pause. The fruit that Luffy rolled is a 74, which is a Pachycephalosaurus, or the fruit that Ulti has. So he rolled an Ancient Zone for his first try, and that was the first Ancient Zone he's ever used. So with this, as he's being held down by Blue Jam will look at Luffy. It's Luffy then being morphing into a Pachycephalosaurus, which Ace and Sabo thought was kind of weird, as he never seen him turn into a dinosaur. But Luffy went into his hybrid form, and Sabo then yelled, he turned into a dinosaur. Which made Sabo just chuckle, saying, you guys are messed up. And immediately, it led on to basically just, him morphing into a full-fledged dinosaur, which can be rampaging all across the Great Tunnel against Blue Jam's crew and everyone else. And it was kind of merciless. He's doing it pretty horribly. So yeah. So after he beats everyone, eventually we would go on, I'd probably say, like, when he's, who knows. I guess once he beat, like, Blue Jam's crew, well, Sabo's dad kind of got scared and ran away as Luffy had bitten down on his arm, like, full force. So yeah, Sabo's dad kind of just ran away. So yeah. So with Sabo's dad just scared off, we can go on to now. I'd probably say like we can probably go on to maybe just Sabo's dad retreating from him, not wanting any more fights, and Luffy just wants to learn how to control more fruits. We go on to basically his last year of like group training with Ace and Sabo. So yeah, when he's 14, I guess. And so he's control from going from 15 in just a span of like 4 months, going now to mastery over those 15, or mastery over roughly around 20 fruits now. And he has full control, or a rough amount of being, I would say, 50 or so. Like, he has control over them, not mastery. So yeah, like don't go. He's basically a master of that before he even turned 17, because he's had around 10 years or so of training with it already. If he hasn't had 10 years training with one specific fruit, he's had 10 years of training with random fruits. So yeah. Now forward on to basically just, I'll watch that later. On to when Luffy is 17. He's 17, that's one of those like 50 fruits go up to like 55. And then he sets sail on his own, finds, first Alvida's crew would be like a good setting point for fighting. So yeah. But so we can probably go on to like just Luffy fighting Alvida's crew, so I'll roll for that. So Luffy, the fruit Luffy has to train a lot, like with his mind, his like just all of his abilities overall, making Luffy a very smart guy. But the fruit that he rolled just now was the Ope no Mi. And Luffy also like pretty good swordsman, so man. But Luffy would use basically the Ope no Mi. And well, his first thing is actually shambles. As he basically ends up swapping out, basically swaps himself with like one of Alvida's crewmates. It's right next to her. Before Alvida knows what's happening, he kicks her in the head full force, like as hard as he can. So with how hard Luffy trains, he's a bit more bulked up. So yeah, and because Luffy, if he doesn't roll a fruit, he has to just train, like he has to train hands, like straight hands. So also, Luffy has like a pipe on his back at the same time, so he keeps that with him. So yeah, I mean, I don't have Luffy in the suit, but gambling and in the background, perfect. So, but Luffy would use a pipe to beat down Alvida's crew pretty easily, so he finds Kobe. And we'll even swap them permanent times to Alvida and their crew to smack them around a lot easier because they can't control each other's bodies. It's really a very tricky fruit, as Luffy doesn't know all the abilities of the fruit, it's just he doesn't use them too effectively because, yes, he makes an okay doctor, he actually makes a pretty excellent one. But he's not like Chopper or Law level just yet. He's not like up there. He's pretty handy with the fruit, sure. Is he as handy as Chopper or Law could be? No. So that's kind of generally that he's not quite there yet. So yeah, so he wants to be of his whole crew. Kobe's wondering what kind of ability that is. But Luffy can't start the room. Luffy's limit with the fruit is roughly about 5 minutes or so. Then with messing with them at the same time, but also just trying to charge up random abilities, it took him around 4. So he's good. So yeah, with this he brings Kobe out to basically just his boat. They get to Shelltown. Then when it came down to basically just, well, Humpo. And Luffy immediately, when he's caught by Humpo as he's untying Zoro, he told Zoro to give him a second. He might have a fruit that allows him to get everyone out of the way. So, hold up. The fruit that Luffy gets is the Wash fruit. So, this is a fruit that Sudor has. It allows him to wash and fold people, but also purify their hearts. It has to do like over and over again to purify their hearts even more, but he's able to do it. So, Luffy ran straight towards the Marines, beat them both up, and grabbed Humpo and just kind of washed and folded him, then folded the Marines at the same time. As, like a wire rack appeared out of nowhere, Humpo and the Marines are put on the wire rack. So he just smirks, saying, "That was easy." As Humpo says, "Thank you for purifying me, sir." We smile, saying, no worries. Just go and tie him. He's a good guy, you know that, right?" Humpo just nearly slipped down, quickly falling over to Zoro and tying him, saying, Yep, I'm the bad guy here." He just ties Zoro and escorts him to the bar. Everyone wondering what Luffy did until Zoro's like, "I don't know either, and I don't want to know. That is genuinely terrifying." So Luffy then says, "All right, Kobe, let's go." He gives Kobe his pipe, and they ran into the Marine base. Everyone in the village looks like the Marine base, seeing it being filled with soap, and it's super shiny. Then Morgan walked down, and he's been folded and washed around 3 times by Luffy. He comes down saying, "I'm sorry, I'm going to imprison myself now." He walks over to the cell, and punches off the axe hand as some Marines walk, pulling out the axe hand, and lock Morgan in the cell with his hand binded. In Seastone, actually. He then says, "It's not my best work, if I'm honest," as he kind of rubbing his nose with one finger, smirking. And Zoro then says, 1. Why is there a roulette table right on your chest? 2. What did you just do? He says, first, here are your blades, they're all cleaned. So look at something. Clean. Okay. Also sharper. But, yeah, what ability was that? That's weird. Like, you washed and physically folded a human like a towel. This is the roulette table, as it just appears. He says, "That's my fruit, the rure-rure no mi, or rure-rure no mi, or the roulette fruit, which allows him to kind of roll out 82 fruits, and any fruit he pick, or any fruit that lands on, he has that teleport ability for 5 minutes. Fruit he got was the wash fruit. And it allows him to wash and fold people like laundry, but also purify their hearts. So no one here is like that evil, they're just arrogant, and they kind of just wash away their hearts, which kind of picks up their arrogance a bit. They did shock Zoro a bit, saying, don't you dare touch me." The 5 minutes are up. I'm good. So yeah. Now with this, we go on to Luffy convincing Zoro to go with him, telling Zoro that for all Luffy knows, he can have a fruit that can destroy the world. Zoro will really want to miss out, want him to that power. Plus, he's a pretty good swordsman. Zoro smirked as he handed Luffy one sword, saying, "Fighting with a sword, not a pipe." This Luffy and Zoro fight. The fight ends in Luffy losing, but Zoro's on the ground panting, just covered in scratches too, and so is Luffy. So yeah. And if you guys wondering why Luffy's on the ground panting, covered in scratches, physically, in terms of speed and strength and basically overall abilities besides skill, Luffy has Zoro beaten in literally every category. Zoro barely won that fight. Luffy sent him flying through the Marine base with his first slash. That's just how physically strong Luffy has to be. But yeah, so this eventually, Zoro just says, fine. You're part of I'll be your crewmate. You're incredibly strong. He says, "Yeah, so are you." He stands up, getting his pipe from Kobe as he gives Zoro his sword back. Else Kobe can stay here and become a Marine. The Marines here are likely going to accept him. He just nod, thanking Luffy for that. And he actually asks if he can be as strong as Luffy someday. If he does, who knows? Tomorrow he can be as strong as me. Depends on my fruits. Or depends on, well, it depends on my gambling ability. Or my luck, who knows? Fate determines my course. As he smiles, walking onto his dinghy with Zoro. He probably has like a decent-sized boat with a few fruits that he has, so, yeah. Because Luffy can use all 82 of his fruits, but he only has like full control over like 55 of them, so. He has like decent control over 55 of them, but he can use other ones on a pretty okay scale. So with this, we're going to basically just Luffy and Zoro. They had a Kokoyashi, and they saved Nami with Luffy just using his hands. When Buggy seemed like a literal clown, but also a metaphorical clown. And actually, as Zoro saying, do you think me and you could both take down the crew without using any devil fruits? What if this? Man, sure want to try? Luffy nods, saying, yeah, why not? That Luffy ran so fast he ran on a bike of the wall of a building, which even shocked Zoro. Luffy jumped up right above Buggy, and Buggy saw Luffy raise his hands like he's suddenly slash down, only for Buggy to be bonked in the head, full force. Does it mean his blood was shot out of his nose how hard he was hit? The Buggy just passes out on the spot from how hard he was hit by Luffy. But Luffy spinning the pole as Zoro jumped up Luffy spinning it, swinging pipe, behind him, and him and Zoro together beating down Buggy's crew effortlessly. When we're done, Luffy sitting on the lion Richie, and sitting on Moji as well. And Zoro being Kabaji with a small slight slash wound on the side, but not a stab wound like in canon. Luffy and Zoro's high five. How easy that was. So yeah. The reason stab wound is because Luffy reacted fast enough to actually kind of did redirect it, but it slashed his side of it. But yeah. So then we go on to, I'd probably say, like, Luffy and, Zoro leaving, and Nami actually asks them how they're that strong. What do you mean devil fruits? Those things exist? If you're not saying, oh yeah, I'm a devil fruit user, but it's kind of random. He holds up the roulette wheel that appears on his hand, saying, yeah, right now, if I were to spin it, I have an option of 82 fruits, and those 82 fruits, I can use any one of them if it lands on a certain number. But yeah. So with this, eventually it was Luffy and Zoro talking. Luffy and Nami talking. She hears the fruit thing is really powerful. But she asks him if it's like any fruit. And he just nods like, yeah, any fruit. Which just makes Nami she's shocked. But yeah. So yeah. So I'm realizing I didn't include all like just fruits I can think of off the top of my mind, because I realized I forget Big Mom's fruit. So something like 83 fruits here, but yeah. Trying to think like any canon fruit I could go off my memory of, but yeah. But as they leave, Nami actually trusts Luffy's ability to full on. Even if he can't like use his fruit abilities, his skill is insane. So plus he seems really smart, including even navigation. So yeah. So with this, Luffy and Zoro eventually, and Nami, their next stop would probably be Sword Village, which was pretty similar as in canon until it comes down to fighting Kuro's crew. So yeah. When it came to Luffy versus Kuro, Luffy immediately just sees Kuro's ability and was like, Kuro's pretty mediocre. But the first mistake that Kuro made that made Luffy extremely pissed, he cut Luffy's pipe in half. When Luffy saw how that was in half, Zoro immediately froze, saying, oh no. As Luffy turned his pipe day and night. Luffy says he had it since for like 10 years nearly. Pause. Alright, so while I was off camera, I did do a roll. But it's a fruit that Luffy has no control over. It's above 55. Well, he has control over it to some degree, but he's not good with it. That's basically like Luffy has control over all 82, but he doesn't have a number above 55. He's not that good with. It means he hasn't gotten it that often. But yeah, so Luffy basically will look at his pipes that are destroyed and immediately smack Kuro right in the face with it. Kind of using them, I would say, as like tonfa at this point. Because some pipes are like curved at the end of it to connect them. Luffy pipes like that, so he kind of uses them as like tonfa, like the curved parts as tonfa, and just completely beats Kuro to hell. Eventually kicks him in the chest and him flying through the crowd of guys. And Luffy had like a roulette wheel like appear on his chest, and then it rolled 68. Luffy looked at it saying, damn it, this is gonna be annoying. He ran at Kuro full speed ahead, and immediately his hand turned into it turned massive. But it looked like a massive blob of mochi, actually. Or massive, and the picture looked like mochi to everyone. Luffy pulled the struts, plus there's how to move, they all do. Luffy kind of just suffocates most of Kuro's crew in mochi. Then he kind of absorb them, then he swings his arm around, flinging them all basically into the ocean. So at the ocean, Luffy moving around like he's still like he's a go-go enemy user, and he beat the whole crew pretty easily. And he's pretty pissed off still. He gets his pipe and is pretty upset. So yeah. Now this immediately, he has happened before, his pipe has been broken. So yeah. Luffy eventually got onto his boat and began fixing up the few little parts he had. By the time he fixed it up, we go on to roughly, I would say, just when Luffy would meet, well, so you know, Luffy and plus up running the crew, they had the Brassier. And while they're here, they eventually kind of just chill out for a bit. They just chill out. Eventually, at least like I guess everything goes pretty similar in canon. Until Luffy just sees the numbers of Krieg's crew, and Luffy isn't gonna use his pipe. He just kind of puts it on the table, saying he can handle this. Probably handle this battle with one fruit. As he smirks, so I'll find said fruit. Krieg's crew is screwed beyond belief. It's one of the fruits that Luffy has complete mastery over. It happens to be the Goro Goro no Mi, or Enel's fruit. Luffy just throws the fruit and just yells, "Hell yes!" Telling everyone who's their ally, get on their side, and telling Ging, get over here, or else he's going to be burned to a crisp. Everyone's confused, as Luffy makes sure to avoid the Mary, and immediately with one lightning bolt, well, most of Krieg's crew, including Krieg, are just turned to complete ash with one blow. As he smirks, saying, "That is my full power attack." As he smiles to his crew, and even Ging is just amazed. Like, he doesn't have time to be mad or sad, he is just amazed. So yeah, Ging's not poisoned. Ging is like the last man alive of his whole crew. He's the last one alive. So yeah, then Miyako arrives, he fights Zoro. Well, actually, there's no place for them to fight besides on the Mary. But, yeah. They fight, and that fight goes per canon. Zoro's a bit stronger physically, and a bit faster as well. Plus, a bit of technique is different, and because Luffy teaches him like the ways of the staff, that Luffy had taught him and Nami. So, yeah. So, now this we go on, I'd probably say, like, I say we can go on to maybe, I guess now Arlong Park. And Arlong Park isn't really too much of an arc, really. Luffy kind of just slams everyone around like they're toys. First when it came like them breaking down Arlong Park's door, Luffy heard about Nami's backstory, and he's just royally pissed. Telling Arlong that Arlong isn't worthy of him giving a staff, he's not even worthy of Luffy's devil fruit. So Luffy's a bit taller, same height as Zoro, actually. Like, same height as Zoro. Oh, a bit more muscly than Zoro is, actually, too. Like, man is swollen. Like, just ripped. Covered in a few scars, too, but, yeah. Plus, he was training by Sabaody at the same time, as well. Yeah. And Luffy's also where fishmen are. He's a pretty good doctor, which means he studied just multiple creatures, including fishmen. Fish biology, too. So the Arlong ran at him. He just dodged Arlong's first punch. Then his punch to Arlong was a liver punch. And then one blow right to the gills. Like, over and over again. Not one blow, it's just like consecutive amount of kicks, like right to the gills. When Luffy decides to shove his hand between Arlong's gills and actually kill him, like, that exact way. And I mean, nobody just sees Luffy kill Arlong. So, yeah. Everyone shocked, like, the whole, like, fishermen are yelling, like, tandem, like, "No, don't kill him!" When Luffy killed Arlong, saying, like, why should he not kill Arlong when he took away some innocent child's mother? How do you think that child felt? In his eyes, fishermen and humans are equal, but some parts of humans were treated worse than fishmen are. All fishermen have to do is know history. That's all it takes for them to get along with humans. Humans are too dumb to see that. Don't become human. Don't be worse than them. That's Luffy's ideology towards them. Eventually, Hachi had seen this and stopped his fight with Zoro, putting his blades away, walking away, jumping in the ocean, swimming far away. So yeah. And with this, everyone's like fishermen just leave after Luffy's words. They feel awful. Then with this, it leads on to basically just like, well, few fishermen just run at Luffy. He just grabbed that he killed Arlong. Only for Zoro and Sanji let out a combination attack, but defeated a majority of fishermen left. As Luffy then nods, saying, this determined and the gapping fishmen. The ones that left have hearts, the ones that stayed, they're evil. They're worse than humans. This is Luffy just punched them straight into the ocean and throws them away. And Nesmi's men arrive, only for Luffy to see them, and just jumps at their ship full force, punching it once, and caving like the whole front half of the ship, which amazes everyone. So yeah, when Luffy jumped on the deck of Nesmi's ship and just began beating down everyone mercilessly. By the time he's done, he tells them to hand over the 100 million berries that they stole, and they do. As they end over the 100 million berries, Luffy keeps it, and tells Nami that she can join the crew, or she can leave. One of the two. So with this, she joins, and they head to Loguetown, where Luffy sees Smoker's fruit. For the first time, Luffy has a very similar feeling like he had on Kokoyashi, on, what was it? On Orangetown, but he didn't really fight Buggy or get to see conscious Buggy for long, and it's hard to knock out Smoker. Luffy's bounty currently is roughly about, I would say, because he turned the whole crew to dust in the span of like 2 seconds, and even Mihawk caught a giant blast come from Luffy. Luffy's bounty at this point is roughly around 70 million. He turned the whole crew to ash in a second. Plus he killed Arlong. He beat Buggy in one blow. He beat most of Buggy's crew without using a devil fruit. Even Garp hypes up Luffy to the point where he may be stronger than any Yonko if he has enough luck. And he's extremely lucky. He basically tells Sengoku, if Luffy has enough luck on one day, he can kill a Yonko. This is the best way to put it. Which immediately scares Sengoku, wanting to make Luffy a Yonko immediately, but they want to see more stats from him. So Luffy's always on close watch from the Marines. So yeah. But with this, Luffy would basically get a bounty of around 70 million for his first bounty. Zoro behind him as right-hand man at 30 million, Sanji at 25 million, Nami at 15 million, Usopp having no bounty. So that's how it works. But Loguetown, Luffy sees Smoker having Logia, and already knows like he had always devil fruits. So yeah, what's the feeling he feels? He sees Smoker using name techniques, and when Smoker uses techniques, Luffy will basically have like a vision of him using these abilities, and him copying them. It's like a scene at Yakuza, like how Kiryu or Majima discover like, oh, here's rush style, here's breakdown, here's break style. They're like copying it, and Luffy's copying Smoker's abilities and like pasting them into his mind, kind of what he's doing. But Luffy can't get the Pum Pum fruit just by like because he wants it. It's by pure chance. So it's fine. Luffy's new devil fruit. Luffy got the worst possible fruit for this fight. It's the Bada Bada no Mi. So basically, this fruit allows you to not be cut, but not be hit with blunt force attacks. And with that is the complete, like, Smoker only uses blunt force attacks, especially sea stone infused ones. And that makes it even worse for Luffy. But the thing that Luffy's a more competent user than Buggy is. So yeah, so let's go to Luffy versus Smoker. Well, let's say fight. Smoker is barely able to hit Luffy or even graze him. And Luffy eventually being showed the abilities to fly. But Smoker eventually is actually grabbed by his shirt from Luffy and thrown straight into a building. So Luffy didn't grab Smoker, he grabbed his shirt. So yeah. Smoker can do that Smoke as well, but this is something that Smoker can control the reflex on. So, yeah. Fight ends with Luffy and Smoker kind of ending in a standstill and then anything else. The Mean Dragon didn't need to help. And Buggy's watching this fight between Luffy and Smoker with Luffy using his fruit. And Buggy saw the roulette table and kind of guessed how Luffy's fruit worked. Buggy's dumb, but not that dumb. So yeah. And if anything, Buggy's not dumb, he's a coward. That's the best way to put it. So when he realized that what Luffy did, he immediately tells Vita this, and Vita's scared. Scared to all hell. Because he used this one devil fruit that allowed him to somewhat swap the crew's personality, or swap the crew's, beings and everything, even swap places with them. But this was a little too weird. And Alvida quickly realized that Luffy may have her fruit as well. So yeah, Buggy's a bit nervous though. And so they don't fight Luffy out of just pure fear, and Alvida agreed to this at the same reason, just pure, straight fear. So yeah. So with this, we go on to basically just Luffy and Strats leaving, and Draken being curious about Luffy's fruit. So yeah. Now with this, we go on to, I'd probably say, Luffy versus, or Luffy and Strats leaving, heading to, basically just, I guess they head over River Mountain, they head to, what was it? Whiskey Peak. Here's where they meet, not Dorian Broggy, here's where they basically meet Vivi and all them. But when Zoro wakes up to fight all everyone there, Luffy woke up with him. They do the same thing with Luffy and Zoro kind of copying each other's moves. Zoro so he's up there. Where'd he go? Luffy did the same thing with Zoro, and they're both in the crowd saying, oh, yeah, where did they go? And turn around to see Luffy and Zoro, but then they both use one combined blow, and they just defeat half the guys there. Luffy with his pipe, and Zoro using onigiri. So yeah. So Luffy's attack that's very similar to Zoro's onigiri. Well, what can you call it? How about onigiri is the name of a food. This thing I think of as a Kong bash, kind of Kong but gong at the same time. There's a gong is hit with a blunt force object, but then Kong is in the giant monkey, or giant ape, or giant ape, giant monkey, giant gorilla, still Monkey D. Luffy, King Kong gun. There's a connection I made to this, but yeah. Luffy would just use this attack on like just one, like Zoro and Luffy just use like a Kong smash, and then Onigiri all at once, and they completely destroy like half of Enies lobby. Half of the guys will see peak, then they just defeat the other half themselves. Like they like, oh, I'll go for this quarter, you have to do that quarter, and they do just that. So, yeah. Then we release Mr. 5 and Miss Valentine. But Luffy immediately recognizes their fruits, telling Zoro how they work and every single ability that the fruit can basically give you. Though nodded as Luffy says to fight Mr. 5, Zoro can fight Miss Valentine. He would nod as Luffy just speed blitz Mr. 5, kicking him right in the face before he can do anything. So, because Luffy knows this fruit a lot better than Zoro does, he can even somewhat see the explosions coming, even if they're invisible. So, yeah. I don't even see them, it's more like sensing them coming, so, yeah. So, Luffy eventually kind of just grabbed, like, he got Mr. 5, like, the collar, throwing him through a building. As soon as Mr. 5 landed, Luffy just dashed towards him full speed ahead. Then with one knee, nailed him right in the solar plexus, which just knocked him out immediately. Well, then Zoro comes Valentine, but barely. He's allowed him to actually be able to somewhat throw her just far, far away. So yeah. So this Miss Valentine is defeated. So yeah. So this we go on, so I'd probably say past this to basically like Luffy and Zoro heading to Little Garden, which I don't see being much different actually. Yeah, I don't see it being much different. Just when it came to Mr. 3, Luffy knew how the fruit works, so he just hopes for flame-based one. So let's hope Luffy finds a fire fruit. Alright, so Luffy's role happened to be Caesar's gas fruit. But like I said before, Luffy can use all those 82 fruits. Like he's able to use them all before he even left, but he has only mastery over 55. But this is one of the ones he doesn't have mastery over at all. But he did train in chemistry a lot with Sabo. Sabo made sure Luffy trained every single category of his devil fruits. Logia, Zone, Paramisa, no matter what it is, Luffy is forced to train it, which is why he's a good doctor. So yeah. So into this, Luffy immediately realized his fruit what his fruit was, and he can't really have full control over it, and he's a bit nervous. But he made sure to face the Straw Hats when he used his ability, kind of making something similar to dry gas. So dry gas, I would say, is very similar to rubbing alcohol, which can somewhat dissolve wax, or at least ruin it. So using this fruit, you're actually able to somewhat kind of fight off Mr. 3, to a certain degree. So wax can't really match Luffy's dry gas. With the dry gas fending off Mr. 3, he just retreats. And Mr. Golden can't really paint on Luffy with his enhanced senses, because all he has is hands and enhanced senses without really devil fruit abilities active. So he beat up Miss Golden League pretty easily. Even though she looks like she's 3, she's like 14 at this point, I believe. But yeah, he beat her to a pulp. Sanji did not approve, but no one really did, besides Luffy, Dory, and Broggy. So yeah. Now there's Drum Island, which isn't much different actually. Then we came to Wapol. When Luffy saw Wapol's fruit, he immediately laughed, saying, "Such an idiot is in possession of such a strong fruit." Which made Chopper confused, like, what do you mean strong fruit? Luffy says he has mastery of that fruit himself. That fruit is probably the strongest one he ever has, or he has currently, with it having high potential. But Wapol being an idiot, the fruit isn't useful at all. So when he tells this like to Chopper, he tells Chopper that this fight will have to end Wapol's death, regardless. He refuses to let such a strong fruit be wasted on such an idiot. So yeah, Luffy ended up basically kind of pulling his pipe in half, and it's basically broken in half. It's kind of sharp at the edges. So Luffy ran Wapol full speed ahead, stepping it right into Wapol's neck immediately. Now Wapol is killed by this, and yeah. So with Wapol dead, Luffy kind of slashed around right up at Wapol's face, and then ends up slashing over his eye, and Luffy just slashes him basically to death using what little jagged bits of his pipe he has, which kills Wapol. So yeah. So Wapol being dead, Luffy kind of kicked him like right off the mountain. Then went to find his fruit, as if the fruit kind of just took it, putting it in his pocket, and walking away. Chopper eventually would join Luffy's side as the guards are defeated. So yeah. Chopper would join Luffy's crew, and Luffy actually would ask him to be a doctor, because Luffy's like an okay doctor, but he has a fruit that required him to be a really good doctor, and he has near mastery over that fruit. So yeah. Or does he? Hold up. Yeah, he has mastery over that fruit. But some of his abilities can't be fully brought out because Luffy isn't that good of a doctor compared to like Chopper or Law. So Chopper makes Luffy his nurse in a sense. But yeah. Now next up would be Alabasta, but Robin isn't really too worried. Luffy's bounty had gone from 70 million all the way up to 100 million. Because, well, of his events on, like, Whiskey Peak and now Whiskey Peak, Loguetown, and now, well, Low Garden as well, but now Drum Island. He killed Wapol. He also has the fruit himself still, but he kind of just hides it. Not hides it, but he'll like he's gonna put it up somewhere so that no one besides them know where it is. Now we go on to basically just Luffy and the Straw Hats when they get up to roughly about when they get over to I don't know. Yeah, we can probably go on to maybe just, well, I guess Luffy's first ever crocodile. He knows how the fruit works in and out. He has the fruit. And he tells Crocodile, the weakness of the fruit is water, so the fight would have to end with Luffy's death. But how fast Luffy is and how, well, tricky he is, Crocodile can barely land a hit on Luffy. It's hard to. Luffy doesn't know that sand fruit is basically why Crocodile is here. But tells Crocodile if someone else ends out the fruit, Crocodile is basically useless against them. His abilities are kind of mediocre. They're not really that impressive. Luffy's used all these abilities before. That's why he's not getting a click like he's with Wapol or anything. But not even Wapol. The only person that gave him a click with his abilities are Mr. 3. So Mr. 3 and Smoker. Just like the only two people that gave him a click in his abilities. So let's find Luffy double fruit to fight Crocodile in. The fruit that Luffy got is basically useless. It's the Hitonomi model Onyudo, which makes him basically a giant monk. So yeah, the giant monk I'd say is like Onimaru from like the fox guy that transforms like the guy that's like shoots from Zoro. That guy. He's an Onyudo. So eating this fruit basically just makes him well, yeah. So Luffy kind of basically ends up how do I phrase it? So Luffy can't really fight Crocodile in this form. All Crocodile can do is kind of just avoid Luffy's strikes. As Luffy in this form is like around 4 meters tall. That's all 4 meters. So this makes him like 13 feet tall. Compared to Luffy, he's around 6 feet tall currently, but yeah. Luffy punches on Crocodile, and Crocodile can really avoid the punch, but, well, even if he can't avoid it, well, he's just trying to stand on like, a release. As Luffy are fighting, Luffy then has an idea. He has 5 minutes, but it should work. Luffy immediately sort of like kind of like, just like doing something in his mouth, which did confuse all the Straw Hats, until Robin was at a distance and realized what Luffy's doing. And she had like a gross out look, saying, Crocodile, you're gonna hate this. Which everyone will hear Luffy, and will see him, and then spit out a loogie on Crocodile's face, or on his body, that is. Crocodile would just yelling, what the hell's your problem? Only for him to be palm slapped straight into the pavement, into the desert, then be repeatedly punched on by Luffy. A liquid is a liquid. So, with this time Luffy's done, Crocodile is just defeated. Now around 2 or 3 minutes pass, and Luffy is turned back into his normal form, and they're all shocked by that, wondering what fruit that is. Also, put some clothes on. His clothes were destroyed when he turned into an Onyudo. Zoro really kind of handed Luffy like a scarf, or I guess it looked like a scarf. I don't know what it was. Luffy kind of put it around his kind of wears it like a loincloth now, but he prefers that over the clothing he had to wear originally. So yeah. So with this, Crocodile's defeated, and Luffy has an idea. As he smirks, taking Crocodile's cloak, his hook, everything. Like he took. Only thing Crocodile's left with is like his underwear in the desert, and Luffy just kind of took all his clothes. He's gonna sell a majority of these. So yeah. But Luffy put on Crocodile's cloak to, well, just cover his body. Luffy then sold Crocodile's clothes. He took the poison in his hook and just buried it deep in the desert. Sold the gold in his hook and everything. Then just found Smoker. Smoker's like wondering why Luffy's here and why is he not wearing anything besides a cloak and a loincloth. He says, don't worry about that. Crocodile's happen to be in the desert, beat up by him because he took over the country. He makes Smoker a deal, saying, all right, they don't have to fight, but Smoker needs the credit of taking in a warlord, and Luffy doesn't get credit either. But Smoker, just go arrest Crocodile. He'll go save King Cobra. Smoker doesn't buy this immediately, but well, what happens is nonetheless he just finds Crocodile beaten up and will find Vivi with Luffy, so it happened. So Luffy went to find Cobra. He found him, saved him, everything. Smoker actually asked Luffy, he can't let Luffy out of here without a fight in front of Hina and everything else. So Hina's the one wondering what Smoker's talking about. Smoker discussed it. Even King Cobra had backed up Luffy. And immediately they're all a bit suspicious about this, but Hina's right. Or not Hina, the Smoker's right. They can't let Luffy out of here without a fight. Luffy was saying, fine, if you want to let me out of here without a fight, we'll have a fight, but it'll be quick. The quickest fight of your life, and also the quickest loss of your life. So, hold up. So, like, can't let you out of here fight. Let you out of here without a fight. Luffy's like, okay, sure, if you want to have a fight, we'll fight. The fruit that Luffy rolled happens to be the ox fruit. But they have a Dalton and showing off his abilities. Luffy's actually able to copy Dalton's fruit perfectly. So, not copy it, but learn it perfectly. So, Luffy's mastery went from around 55 all the way up to around 58. So, it worked. Or not 58. 50, actually. 55. Yeah, 58. So, yeah. So, Luffy just ran and rammed straight into, like, the Hina first. And it rammed her right into Smoker. Smoker, being nervous, had caught her. Only kind of almost impaled him, like, head first on Luffy's horn. But when he dodged, well, something would happen. Which is actually acing out like a giant fire fist, and it completely engulfed Smoker. Smoker's able to jump away and protect Hina, though. And, well, with Luffy and Ace combined, they beat down a majority of the crew that Smoker has, even Hina. They walk away just smiling, as Luffy just nod, apologizing for ramming into Hina, saying, on occasions he wouldn't hit a woman, but it's fighting. He was nod, bowing, then kind of breaking off the horn he had. We last a few minutes, and then he turns back into his human form. And then we'll just write down like a giant apology in like giant letters. We're carving down giant apology on their boat, saying sorry for hitting you, Hina. He's honestly too embarrass her. Then he leaves, and except it's Jaya. We're not just so Luffy and Zoro don't cause trouble. Luffy doesn't really worry. So as soon as Bellamy tries to like slam Luffy's head through a table, Luffy doesn't budge. Bellamy can't move Luffy a single inch. So Luffy's bounty currently Smoker just kind of spun the story, because he kind of thought of just how to take it. There's a giant carving in their ship showing Luffy was there. So everyone would know that Hina lost, and probably Smoker too. The way they spun it. Basically, Luffy fought Crocodile once, beat him to a pulp. Then with this, they tried to arrest him, Crocodile got back up, they fight him. Smoker beat him the second time, but he was super weakened. So, this is kind of how he explains it to everyone else. And, yeah. Then she tells him that they fought the Marines, but he had helped from Fire Fist Ace and defeated them, and even carved into their ship. Which does raise Luffy's bounty up for vandalism, beating up two Commodores, beating up a Warlord, yeah, so on and so forth. Bringing Luffy's like 70, 80 million berry bounty, all the way up to 130 million. But then let's fight Luffy. Luffy says he's not going to fight worthless fights, such as some don't know nobody pirate who can't even reach the position of a supernova. So yeah. So Luffy kind of tells that to just Bellamy, because he's aware of supernovas and everything. He's considered one of them. After all, he's in the newspaper constantly. Now this Bellamy even pulls out a knife trying to stab Luffy in the face, only to have his hand grabbed, and Luffy then squeezes it full force. As he squeezes it full force, he keeps kind of just cracking and crushing the hand of Bellamy, and threw him straight through the bar. Bellamy says, "Luffy, don't cause trouble." Luffy yells, saying, "That idiot shouldn't try to stab me." Which time he throws seeing the knife in Bellamy's hands. Bellamy tried to use stealth fruit to catch Luffy, but Luffy already knew what fruit this is. Saying, that fruit, huh? Pretty useless in the hands of someone like you. You're not creative at all. Especially your Spring Hopper. I already named an ability Spring Hopper. But he kicked Bellamy so hard, sending him flying through a building. And Luffy decides to use his devil fruit abilities. Luffy just smirks at them. So Bellamy's fruit allows him to bounce around everywhere. Luffy's fruit allows him to run insanely fast everywhere. You guys can guess his fruit? It is the Cheetah no Mi. Or, not no Mi, but Cheetah fruit. So yeah. So with this, Luffy transforms into basically just a hybrid form, and runs at Bellamy top speeds. But Luffy already being about as fast as the Cheetah is without even trying. His speed is amplified by 4 times, so how fast is the Cheetah? I believe like 6 miles per hour. Luffy runs like 280 miles an hour at his top speed in his hybrid form. He allows him to basically beat the mess out of Bellamy with minimal difficulty. By the time the fight's over, Bellamy's covered like slash marks, or face slashes, everything. Like he just beat him to a pulp. Then Luffy stares at Bellamy's crew and beats them up easily as well. Luffy's fruit is 19. The fruit he's using right now is 19, which allows him to actually easily use his fruit in a perfect fashion. So, yeah. So, with this, wait, hold up, pause. Okay, I'm rolling a whole different dice. So this should lower Luffy's luck, but still give him some good rolls. So he beat Belly's whole crew himself, which everyone just watched Luffy do. So yeah. But with this, we go on to basically Skypiea, which goes pretty similar until it came to Luffy versus Enel. Other than the arc, the exact same Robin, Chopper, all them. But now we need to roll Luffy's fruit for this arc, or for this fight against Enel. All right, this fruit that Luffy rolled is Kuma's fruit, and he's full mastery over it, like complete mastery over it. So the way I see it, this fruit basically Luffy can deflect any attack he wants to, but he has to be very quick with it, which he can be. So yeah. This Luffy's stats and speed are very, they're above canonical Luffy in this arc, which would probably put his reaction speed above lightning. So, well, instead of him tanking every single blow like he can, canonically, he's just able to deflect every single blow right back at Enel or right at someone else. And also, Luffy's attacks that he can send out, what was it? His Ursus Shock, like Kuma has. He has that ability as well, but doesn't name it Ursus. He doesn't really have, any named attacks in this form, but, well, when Luffy uses this ability, well, he kind of just usually uses it to rough up Enel. Actually, no. So, nearby is Robin, who's hit by Enel, and Zoro, who's also somewhat beaten up. And then there's also some of Enel's lackeys nearby. And Luffy's kind of doing around the whole battlefield by himself, just jamming out people's pain, straight into one giant bubble, which Enel doesn't want to touch it. He's kind of nervous about it. Point where he jumped out enough pain, the point where it's greater than canonical Luffy when he was in, Thriller Bark. So Luffy just compressing this down to one giant ball before throwing it right at Enel. Well, not throwing it, just sending it right at Enel. Enel's wondering what this does, we can shoot it with lightning bolt, but the lightning bolt just goes straight through it, as Luffy deflects it right back at Enel, which doesn't really hit him at all. He absorbs it. Enel thinks he's untouchable, he wouldn't really care. But, he says, it won't touch me either way, as he just scoffs at Luffy. When they hit him, well, Enel will cough up, basically throws up blood, blood's coming out of every single part of his body that can secrete blood. His mouth, his eyes, his ears, everything just leaking blood. Point where Enel just ended up hitting the ground, and is just dead. So yeah. So Enel just died in the spot from that ability. Luffy just smirks, thanking everyone for their pain. As Robin thanks Luffy for, not healing her, but taking away the pain, was kind of unbearable. He smiles at her, nodding. As they leave, and when they're leaving, everyone kind of asks about Enel, and he says he killed him. So, yeah. With this, they leave Skypiea. When we came to the cannon, Luffy immediately says, no worries, he can inflict cannon blasts. Not if he can stop cannon blasts, he can hold a giant cannonball and catch it pretty easily. Because he caught a Muggy Ball against Buggy's crew on Orangetown, which Nami did vouch for that. So, yeah, Nami and Zoro both do. Some point Sanji just holds out his foot, as Zoro holds out his hand. Everyone holds out their hands, ready to catch a cannonball. Instead, one of the village residents, Skypiea throw the giant gold bar at them. They catch it, and realize it's not a cannon, it's just a giant pillar of gold. So yeah. So this Luffy kind of just holds on to the giant gold thing as they get brought back down to yeah. Because they're brought back down to what was it? Oh yeah, they're brought back down. They go to Water 7. They chill out there for a bit. Relatively everything's very similar. Just Luffy beats up Frankie and Paulie without using a double free ability. He's simply just too fast or too strong. One of the two. Frankie even thought Luffy's a normal guy, or normal humans just collide fists if Luffy doesn't need double abilities. But no, he's easily outmatching Frankie's physical strength and his speed. It came like Frankie is like a coup vent. Luffy just held out one palm and just palm tracked it to the point where it just got blown apart. So yeah. But now we're going to basically Luffy versus CP9. That's the only interesting fight here. So everything else is the exact same. Just Sanji is a bit more powerful in terms of just raw ability. Luffy has to train his physical body constantly, so yeah. Because what does he have besides a random fruit? These hands. That's all he has. Some ability will be practically useless to the point where he has to only use his body despite having a double fruit. So yeah. So Luffy just uses Sanji and Zoro, Chopper, everyone to train in some way. Sanji actually able to fight off not all but fight them off to some degree. But allows him to be actually Kaku's unbeaten, but he's pressed back, and then so is Lucci. But then eventually, Blue No would be one to take out Sanji, so he just uses the door to check out Sanji. So, yeah. He's previously beaten by Sanji in the sea train, but then Blue No chokes him out from behind. So, yeah. But now, On Enies lobby, Luffy immediately just rolled a fruit the moment he got, or not roll it, spun a fruit the moment he got up to confronting Lucci to get Robin back, of course. But yeah. Now the fruits that are in the 70s, like late 60s to the early 70s, those fruits are mainly like ancient or mythical zones. The fruit that Luffy rolled was Queens, so he has the Brachiosaurus fruit. So yeah. But Luffy can basically just end up seeing the fruit and just smirk, saying, "This one doesn't cause a lot of damage, but he's not really that good with it." But with this, immediately he ended up going into the Brachiosaur form, like it's like the full Brachiosaur, and that he kind of swung his neck right at everyone, which allowed him to actually will kind of smack away a lot of people around him. Like he easily did it. So when he swung around them, it completely just knocked out. Sleeping Eyes completely just decimated by this point with that one blow. But Robin's actually able to run away from it and barely get out of Luffy's like neck range. But Luffy saw spanned him and immediately kind of grabbed him with his teeth and slammed threw him right into the ocean. So yeah. But eventually Luffy went into a hybrid form and just ran and jumped right onto the base, completely crushing half of it. The CP9 agents are completely crushing Luffy until they go back out, and they're pretty weakened now. Leaving Strat's fights all being easy. As again to Sanji vs. Khalifa, only just try to grab him or try to hit him. He immediately moved her away and kind of just tripped her. He didn't like it, but he tripped her, and she hit the ground too tired to get back up. Zoro versus Kaku. Zoro used like one sword style and let out one giant slash of just wind pressure, and it nearly cut Kaku in half. It was that strong and that quick. Kaku is nearly dead from that attack. Fukuro, it came down to like Frankie versus Fukuro, and Frankie just rushed at him like full speed, picking him up and crushing him. Not crushing him, but kind of back breaking him or breaking his back on his knee. So yeah. Now that Fukuro's easily defeated, and yeah. So Fukuro very easily defeated. We go on to, I would probably say, like, maybe, I guess the other fights go on with really easily not only being a fight, it was insanely easy. So yeah. So now we can go on to, I'd probably say, like, with Luffy versus Lucci. But Luffy is kind of own hybrid form, just mercilessly stomps on Lucci to the point where he's nearly dead. So yeah. And Lucci doesn't even have a chance to transform yet, so he's even worse beaten than in canon. And with this, we go on to basically just Luffy leaving with Robin and Frankie, but Frankie would join his crew. So yeah. So Frankie joining his crew, they leave, heading for a triangle. Luffy meets Brook and already knows all Brook's, kind of just senses Brook's devil fruit and asks him if it's like the yummy. Brook would say yes, and then Luffy actually tells him, does he have any of the spirit abilities that the fruit has? Which Brook is watching the question of what Luffy means. Luffy immediately froze, saying, "You don't know what the fruit does, do you?" Luffy describes what the fruit does and how some abilities are able to occur. Luffy is strong with the fruit, sure, just doesn't use it too often. It's kind of a rare role for him. Well, it's basically useless to him unless he wants to use the spirit abilities. And they break down what the fruit does and all the abilities of it, which Brook is completely like just shocked by. So yeah. But yeah, so Luffy decides to tell Brook, like, like on our way to Thriller Bark, I'll train you in the abilities to give you at least somewhat of a gist of them. Plus, you told us that the guy has your shadows as a samurai. You and Zoro will be training with me. But Luffy breaks down how Brook's abilities works, even just explaining to him how to use the fruit. And with this, Brook does thank Luffy for this. As it eventually leads on to basically just Brook, when Brook found like Ryuma using the what was it? I guess the projection, soul projection. When Brook found Ryuma, told Zoro where he was, then they both fight against Ryuma. Well, first Brook loses, but it was a bit easier to fight Ryuma for some reason. But then, Brook had deflected one of the attacks, and that was his last deflection, or last attack against Ryuma, as he just passed out. But Zoro then fights against Ryuma and easily wins, so, yeah. Brook had a bit of training before this, so he's a bit stronger. But in the Furious Moria, he already knew the ins and outs of Moria's fruit, and already knew like the weakness of like the zombies was salt. Because Luffy just knows how the fruit works, he doesn't use the abilities of it. Just knows the ins and outs of the fruit. So yeah. We'll go on to Luffy versus Moria and what fruit Luffy would roll. So, yeah. The fruit that Luffy rolled was a bit better for the situation than his canonical fruit, but still kind of sucky for Moria. It's the Wax fruit. And Luffy's complete mastery over this fruit is one of the ones he has mastery over. It's number 7. So, yeah. So Luffy had basically used this fruit, and when he uses it, immediately, when he uses it, can he use the same attack that Mr. 3 had used to actually freeze them all in place, or he tried to use that very similar ability? He did it on a very low scale because of just the situation. But Moria's hands are kind of frozen, they're kind of stuck, or they're waxed frozen, I guess, right? Like they're stuck in place. But allowed Luffy to actually escape from Moria's grasp, and immediately run at Moria using his raw strength, even going like wax boxing gloves. And with this, he immediately slams him right into Moria's gut, sending him flying through the wall. Then Luffy ran full speed ahead at Moria, punching him in the face as hard as he can, sending him flying straight out of the building. So yeah. So Moria's sent flying out of the building. Well, eventually, we can go on to, I'd say, I don't know, honestly. Yeah. So Luffy's actually able to somewhat just beat Moria because Moria is kind of frozen in place, and so is all of those zombies. So Luffy kind of just decimates that castle, beating Moria nearly to death. So yeah. So by the time the fight's over, well, it kind of just yeah. So, yeah, Moria can't really escape from Luffy once Luffy's not binded. So with Moria easily defeated, well, Luffy kind of just leaves as the castle's in shambles. Even Orsa's body is in pieces. So yeah, he leaves just using his boxing gloves and just decimates everyone around him. And yeah, but then Kuma arrives. As everyone's fights have gone pretty similar. It's just Usopp beat Piranha without being beaten half to death by a teddy bear. So yeah. So with everyone's fights ending pretty quickly, then just no one has their shadow stolen. Kuma arrives, and now Luffy has to roll a whole new fruit. It's been like a whole day. So yeah, they've all recovered. But Luffy's Kuma knows how Kuma's fruit works, because it's one of his mastered fruits. So yeah. Because I believe it's 31 out of Luffy's now current 65. So Luffy's mastery over fruits are just growing as he goes on, but Kuma's fruit is one of Luffy's mastery abilities, so fighting Kuma is relatively a breeze for Luffy. He's about as fast as Kuma is, probably even faster actually. Reaction speed a bit slower than Kuma's. I assume Kuma is still a robot currently and knows hockey. Maybe a little bit of hockey. So he can somewhat fight against him. But yeah. Yeah, so the fruit that Luffy rolled is the worst fruit to fight against a cyborg and a human against. He has the rust fruit. The rust fruit. Kuma has robotic and metallic insides, along with having human bones. The bones can rust. They can be stuck in place. The metal can rust and kill Kuma. When Luffy fight, it's more of a standstill than anything else. When Luffy grabbed Kuma's arm, Kuma just couldn't move his arm anymore. Then he tries to go away, to unrust his arm. No, Luffy grabs his leg. Kuma can't really move anymore. Luffy unrusts his other arm and beats Kuma nearly to death. So yeah. By the time the fight's over, Kuma's just left in a bloody mess on the middle of Thriller Bark. He left a bloody mess. Literally and metaphorically, but yeah. So with this, the Strats end up leaving. Being shocked that Luffy beat another Warlord. He beat two in the same, not like a whole day later, but it's been 22 hours. He beat two Warlords in that same vein of time. So yeah. Luffy's bounty is already 120 million at Jaya. Water 7 happening, and Lobby, the Bark now beating two Warlords. Luffy's bounty is roughly about, I would probably say, a lot higher than Kid's is. Beating two Warlords in the same day. Well, nearly the same day. I can see his bounty being a lot higher than Kid's at probably 330 million at the lowest. So yeah. While he's here, Shaki's kind of questioning what Luffy's abilities are. This talks about his fruit and how he just has incredible luck as Luffy. So yeah. So he describes his fruit, how it works, and how he beat Kuma. And really just laughs and thinks that was the worst match for Kuma. So yeah. Now eventually everything goes pretty similar, till it goes on to basically Luffy versus Kizaru. Because Luffy can run faster than Law and Kid can, because he knows their fruits too. So he knows how to perfectly work with them. Because he tells them his fruit as they're walking outside. This does amaze them though. So yeah. But Luffy's actually able to easily beat everyone outside and perfectly work with Kid and Law. Then Kizaru, that was his main opponent. So Kuma was told like he lost to Luffy because Luffy had used a good fruit that was perfect against Kuma's body. Not his fruit, but Kuma's body in general was perfect against him. So yeah, pause. So yeah, so basically, this one I wanted to use my first reroll. It was a fruit that Luffy's already used before, as I try not to use many fruits that Luffy's already used before, unless they're like really cool ones to me. The fruit that Luffy rolled the first time happened to be the Bada Bada no Mi, and it's not really good against Kizaru. But the fruit that Luffy got is the Yami Yami no Mi. And it's in the vein of Luffy's mastery. He's a lot better user than Blackbeard even. So, yeah. Believe it or not, he's better than Blackbeard. He's used the fruit for like 12 years. Or nearly 12 years, but constantly. But yeah. So, Luffy immediately kind of against Kizaru, so he doesn't know that darkness could absorb light. So, he kind of uses attacks like punch out Kizaru's blasts. So, yeah. So I mean, like Kizaru against like Luffy and Rayleigh. One of Kizaru's attacks have been like a light sword. Luffy's used darkness to kind of punch out the light sword. But Luffy can use footing to create a black hole around right under Kizaru. But Luffy had grabbed the leg of Kizaru, throwing him straight into a building, as Luffy can cancel out double fruit abilities. Then Kizaru being stunned by this grab that someone can touch him, Luffy just nailed whales into Kizaru with Rayleigh helping him. When they're done, Kizaru nearly just has majority of the bones of his torso broken, and a few other bones are broken too. The point where Luffy decides to actually almost crush Kizaru's leg completely with just the force of a black hole. But Haki can stop anything, so eventually Kizaru escaped by nearly destroying Shaki's bar, but Luffy took the brunt of the blast. So yeah, which would make Luffy pass out, but yeah. So the Strats are all together until Luffy's unconscious and they're taking care of him. Kuma arrived for round 2. But saying Luffy's gone, and he explains the situation, saying he's saying he had to kill them all, but he knows where to send them so that they all survive. And they're just out of Marine custody. They'll believe Kuma at this point because they know who Luffy's dad is, and they're all smacked away. So, yeah. Then with this, Luffy's sent flying away by Kuma. Kuma then calls Luffy the best fighter he's ever seen. He even recently beat an Admiral with help of Rayleigh. So, if Luffy hasn't made a Yonko in the next, probably even a few months possibly, it'd be a shock. With this, Kuma picked up Luffy, throw him in the air, then smack him like a volleyball, all the way to Amazon Lily. So, you know, that was a bit of personal revenge for him. So, yeah. With this, we go on to basically Luffy and Kizaru, not Luffy on Amazon Lily, saying he was sent here by Rayleigh instead. It really did tell him where to say that. Rayleigh's like, I know where you're going, so, yeah. So with this, Luffy basically go on and, as they go on, he's let in the Amazon Lily because of just Rayleigh's words, even a letter. So yeah. Because Luffy was woken up before he got sent flying, of course. It'd be rude to wake up someone with 3-day travel across the calm belt. But yeah. But now we go on to, I'd probably say, just Boa Hancock arriving. Luffy talks to her about Rayleigh and how he fought in Kizaru. And he even starts to describe his fruit, which means, Luffy has her fruit. It'd be a bit useless in the hands of Luffy. Not useless, but a bit weird. Because Luffy kind of ideal because he's used his fruit before. Because, hold up, does he actually have Hancock's fruit is in his vein of mastery. So, well, he's said to become somewhat of an ideal man in the eyes of some women. So, few women would be affected by him. A few of them, even some men, or anything in between, I guess. But yeah. But Impel Down now. That happens. So on Impel Down, well, when it came to be just like Luffy running through it, and his first fight against Magellan, anyone else was Magellan's the only fruit where you're supposed to use. We're the only fight where you're supposed to use like a double fruit and Impel Down. Anyone else is just easy pickings. Now everyone fights alongside him until he says he knows Magellan's fruit in and out. He's the master of it. But this is going to be really probably the hardest fight of his life. Because if he touched even once, he will be killed. So yeah. Or not killed, but almost killed. He has a pretty high poison resistance, about as strong as it is. Not as strong as it is, actually. His poison resistance is nearly, it would take Magellan at least maybe one Hydra and a few basic attacks to kill Luffy. One Hydra is not enough to kill Luffy. In fact, it would probably do about nothing to him. Well, not nothing on the outside. It's still a low to fight. It would take time to kill him. Like how it does in canon, but it's less likely to work. Luffy's body can't tell the Hydra itself. So yeah. But now Luffy's fruit. Let's see how good he is. He has the heavy no Mi model Anaconda, which he would use to actually kind of outpace Magellan and actually kind of get around him. But still pretty hard fight for Luffy, as it's kind of basically unbeatable. He can't touch Magellan. But eventually with speed he's able to get some poison off Magellan and splash it around the walls and everything. And Luffy uses to advantage, helping out some rubble that Magellan's poison has touched, and kind of sending some roller crashing down on Magellan, which would distract him than anything else. So, which is a pretty good distraction. They're able to escape to level 5.5 with everyone with him. Here we meet Ivan. He tells Ivan how he fought Kizaru, Kuma. I kind of fought a lot of strong guys. So yeah. Also currently, he's just like in the med bay of Marineford, questioning how some brat who's just a supernova beat the hell out of him. Which immediately everyone's curious about too, is he just say really what's helping him? The fruit he used destroyed light completely. Like I cannot hit him even if I use hockey infused light attacks. The light would just cancel out. And destroy the hockey went away with the light. And they listed some form of darkness fruit. So yeah. We just scare everyone to some degree, so yeah. And Garp does say that as Luffy trains, his vein of mastery over devil fruits is probably just growing day by day, and the Yummy is probably in that vein of mastery early on. Luffy already had mastery over 40 fruits as a kid, so yeah. So with this, eventually Admirals will put together that Luffy probably has their fruits too and know how they work, which they're not wrong. He does perfectly. He's in his vein of mastered abilities. So yeah. But now Magellan versus Luffy round 2. So let's hope that fight goes better than usual. All right, this fight's a bit different. Basically, Luffy using Smoker's fruit and vein of mastery against Magellan, which is a pretty good fight. But Magellan can only hit Luffy, and Luffy can't hit Magellan. But Luffy had an idea. It's very risky, but he's gonna try it. Luffy can turn his whole body into smoke, flying straight from Magellan at top speeds. So he doesn't think that Luffy's gonna just turn tangible at the last second. No, instead he flies right into Magellan's nose and nearly suffocates him. As Magellan suffocated, Luffy kind of poked out a bit of smoke, turning into his head, saying, "Jump him." And with that, as Magellan not being able to use his fruit as he's just being suffocated, he's just completely stomped out by basically every single one of the escapees. Found Luffy with his body, like Sadie, Honey, but they found Magellan just completely beaten to a pulp, nearly dead by just like a prison cell. So yeah. And that's how it happened to be in front of Bullet, who watched the beatdown that Magellan just had. It was amazing for him to watch. So yeah. Next up is going to be what was it? Oh yeah, Marineford. They're after Marineford, and Luffy knew he falls from the sky would try to use a devil fruit. So yeah, what devil fruit would he use? Or the fruit Luffy got is perfect for falling out of the sky. Not to catch him, but no, for an attack. Luffy got the armor fruit, baby 5 fruit, and that's in his vein of mastery. The vein of mastery he's had since he was 14. So this fruit is perfect. Luffy's falling out of the sky. He completely turned half of his body into a cannon and fired a cannonball straight towards Garp. Garp caught it only for multiple cannonballs to follow, and he tests to tank them. Until that being a smoke, platform is completely shot out by Luffy. Then Luffy sees Ace, and has a cannonball shoot straight at Ace's sea stone cuffs. But he has multiple follows. It just burned Ace a little bit, as sea stone's very durable. After 3-4 cannonballs, the sea stone's destroyed completely, freeing Ace. With weapons that actually will just fly fly straight with Whitebeard. Where Marco had grabbed Ace, healing his wounds, flying back to the ship, healing Ace even more. Freeman lands, able to use explosion to propel himself off the ground and catch himself on a bit of ice. So, yeah. With this, he then told everyone to get behind him. Everyone that doesn't have weapons get behind him. As basically to use himself as like a rapid fire cannon. And to keep firing cannonballs at everyone with weapons being fired right next to him. As they completely mow down Marines in a split second. For 2 minutes, Luffy is now out of devil fruit power, but which starts to use hands and beat down Enies' way. Until someone just yells for Luffy, he would turn around, sing Sabo, throw him a pipe, Luffy catches it, and with the help of Sabo and everyone else, they proceed to beat down everyone in their way, which is relatively pretty easy. So, yeah. Eventually, Marines are pushed back to an extreme limit, And now the admirals approach Luffy. So yeah, because well, Luffy knows the fruit and he's too dangerous, especially because Kizaru now has a broken leg, but he's still gonna fight. So what will Luffy use against these three admirals? Pause. All right. Now I did have to use a reroll because the fruit that Luffy got was good. Sure, it was the Yami Yami no Mi again, but if you were to fight them, add three admirals with the Yami Yami no Mi, he'd be completely just decimated. He'd be good against Kizaru, sure. He could fight off some of their attacks, sure. He would take a lot more pain though. He'd take a lot more pain to the chest. It would kill him. Like no, he wouldn't die of injury. He would simply just faint on the battlefield with how much pain he's taking and just die. Fruit Luffy got instead is Foxy's fruit. But Luffy is a competent person, so this fruit works perfectly against him. Well, Edel's went in for an attack. Kizaru's moving at light speed, moves so slow a snail could beat him in a race. Same for all the other admirals, they're midair right now. Luffy would smirk, and everyone realizes that Luffy had a good fruit coming for him. So yeah. And with this, immediately Marco and Ace would use one command attack, burning the admirals nearly. Well, Ace would burn him. Marco just used one like one hockey infused kick, and that sends the admirals into each other. Luffy cancels the attack, and immediately the attack will land at a much faster rate, really decimating the admirals beyond belief. We took down three of them all at once. As Luffy just laughs, saying he has a much larger scale attack, but it'll take up all his energy. With this, Luffy would use an ability that he's been not ruining, but nervous. Which is basically one large-scale ability that can be considered somewhat very similar to a Devil Fruit Awakening. So as he would use it, it completely just slows down the time of, not time, but the bodies of all Marines, and everyone who's not in front of him is completely just slowed down. While True completely just mow down the Marine in front of him, with Whitebeard just being shocked at Luffy's ability. The point where the Marines, like, Sengoku's like words he starts to yell are, "We lost." And with this, gunfire stops and everything, and Whitebeard's crew turns around with Ace, leaving. But suddenly, from below, not from below, but from above, someone punches down on the ice, completely just crushing it as they all fall in the ocean. But Sabo immediately jumped, grabbing Ace and Luffy, and Whitebeard shit and them Moby Dick, and would actually pick up Whitebeard, barely throwing him into the air. And actually land on his mast and see who did it. So, now you see San Juan Wolf and Blackbeard's crew just ready to fight. And well, Luffy's put down on like the little iceberg, like ice platform by Sabo, and Ace is Sabo with him as well. But yeah, Luffy's pretty tired now from that giant just time like slowing time ability, which means he has to kind of fight with bare hands. The main event augur should at Luffy because knowing that Luffy's not intangible like his brother. But Luffy maybe tried to use a Devil Fruit ability, but catching a bullet, nothing. Luffy was somewhat reactive, catching the bullet out of thin air and throwing it to the ground. So he's pretty bleeding from it still, but yeah, he didn't really care. We did shock Van Augur that Luffy's that tired, but can still react faster than the bullet can fly. So, yeah. But this is how it gives Luffy an extra pipe, and Luffy begins kind of mowing down. Well, not just Luffy, the whole Whitebeard crew begins helping destroy Blackbeard. Blackbeard take advantage of a pretty beaten up Whitebeard still and fight him, which goes about as good as it does in canon. It's just there's a lot less people to help him. Well, one blast from a very attractive Van Augur would actually change the course of the battle. Isn't it Whitebeard right through the head? Like through the temple, right back over the other's head, right through the other. So, this is just completely just murder. It just destroys Whitebeard, completely killing him on impact. Which means Blackbeard still gets the fruit, and Luffy's now nervous. So yeah. So, he's a bit nervous and has no other ability to use currently because he's too tired. So yeah. So Luffy too tired to kind of fight back. He is honestly just decimated. So, yeah. So Luffy defeated. Luffy defeated. They all just retreat. Then Blackbeard causes havoc at Marineford as they have to retreat again. Not retreat again, but Shanks escorts them away. But Luffy's awake to see Shanks, which is the better part. But Shanks realizes what Luffy did. He's the one that changed the course of the battle. So yeah. Luffy actually thinks, are you proud of me? I'm a strong pirate now. I even beat an admiral with the help of Rayleigh. I changed the whole tide of Marineford. I even helped beat 3 admirals together. I beat 2 warlords in the same day. I've beaten a whole different warlord in a few hours, few minutes actually. Am I a strong enough pirate to give the hat back? So Shanks smiles, saying, "Yes, you are, but are you strong enough to beat a Yonko yet?" Saying, "Oh, Yonko's this whole different playing field. Beat at least like Big Armor Kaido. I'll consider it." But if he can't beat them, he has to beat him at least. As he smiles, as Luffy ends up leaving. Or he just says beat an admiral without the help of anyone else. So, yeah. So, yeah. Now with this, Luffy's wheeled off. They have a funeral for Whitebeard, but Ace is alive. But Ace is retiring from being a pirate, so, yeah. Which to make Luffy sad, but he's happy to see that Ace is okay now. And Luffy did also turn out really for 2 years, giving him hockey abilities. So, yeah. So Luffy basically, well, he changed really for 2 years, with even Marco helping him. But yeah. But 2 years, Luffy has mastery over all of his fruits, so yeah. Now, first arc would be Fishman Island, which Luffy does not need advice on. So, yeah. So Luffy doesn't really need any double fruits for Fishman Island. Just hands. That's essentially all it takes for Fishman Island is just hand. And he'd use just that to beat up every single fishman in his path. So yeah. We can probably go on to now Punk Hazard, which is very similar until it comes to Luffy versus Caesar, as Luffy knows the ins and outs of Caesar's fruit pretty easily, actually. He's used it before. The Struts also know the ins and outs of it as well, because they've seen Luffy use it. On pretty good scale, too. So the fruit that Luffy has is the Kilo no Mi, and I don't think that we have any good abilities from the first route I rolled, which is the Yamato no Orochi, because it's in the hands of a very incompetent user. So yeah. With the Kilo no Mi, Luffy's actually able to just mess with Caesar enough for everyone to help him fight. So yeah. With everyone kind of helping Caesar fight, helping Luffy fighting Caesar is decently messed with. But then Luffy eventually had just dropped off the sky as the next amount of kilos, completely crushing just Caesar immediately. So yeah. Caesar was too distracted against Luffy and the Straw Hats, so Caesar's completely crushed. So yeah. So Caesar defeated. Well, the next up would probably be Dressrosa, which is still not much different. But when it came to Luffy versus like Chinjo, Luffy immediately just kind of just punched at him with things like a hockey infused fist and a bunch better hockey, actually. A lot stronger too. Which allowed him to basically beat Chinjo with that one punch. So yeah. So now we've probably gone past those fights. What is Luffy versus Doflamingo, which is a more interesting fight actually. Because all the strats, Luffy does tell them about the overseas he sees here and how they operate, which includes like Pika, Mach Vice, Baby 5, just how a lot of the fruits work. He's seen them all. He uses them all. Which some fruits I did to write down, which I will not write down now because I don't want to make up whole new numbers now. But yeah. So Luffy versus Doflamingo. Luffy has Luffy's fruit and has complete mastery over it, and Doflamingo probably knows this. So yeah. But Doflamingo tells Luffy to roll his fruit so that they can have a much more fun fight. But Luffy says it all depends on his luck today. So yeah. So far, no one here has been worth a single ounce of power for Luffy. They've all been too easy. Besides Chinjo, but that guy's also pretty weak. So now, time for Luffy's ability to beat Doflamingo's ass with. Alright, that was my bad. So Luffy's fruit that he gets is the Yami no Mi, which is not really too good, but not too bad at the same time. Most has Luffy fight as a standstill against Doflamingo until he uses Black Hole, which absorbs the whole castle, including Doflamingo. But Luffy's batted out on like a very destroyed limit, and Doflamingo's body simply just crushed to a very bad scale. But Luffy just used one hockey infused punch, including just the amount of force of a black hole, sending Doflamingo flying straight into his own birdcage. Doflamingo doesn't killed by this as they canceled it at last minute, but with how high he is and how hard he hit the ground, he's nearly dead from the fall alone. So yeah, so Luffy won that fight, but he's covered in slash marks. Even a few stab wounds from Doflamingo's rather dumb shoes. So yeah, so Luffy is pretty beaten up. So yeah, but then Luffy's a lot worse for wear than canon. That's the best way to say it. So with this, Luffy would go on, and the Strats would leave heading to Zoe now, or they meet the other Strats at Zoe, where they find that Sanji went with Big Mom, or went with Beijing 2 Big Mom. A lot of this arc is relatively simple until the fight of Cracker versus Luffy. Or Cracker versus Luffy and Nami. Which this fight is literally all dependent on luck now, because Luffy and Nami, Luffy's fruit was a very big player in that fight, but Nami's intelligence was an even greater player. But then Luffy and her are pretty near in intelligence, so it works out. So pause. The fruit that Luffy gets is the invisible fruit. So yeah, or the Suke no Mi. So then the other part to a cracker, Luffy just tells Nami to run, but she needs to be bait for a second, just to draw out the real cracker. So with this, well, she agrees, but asks Luffy what he got, and he says it turns him invisible. She just smiles, saying, "Good." They ran there behind a tree, and Nami pretended that she fell down, and that Luffy abandoned her. The Tracker's like, "Looks like a dumb captain abandoned you. Well, how will little Miss Cat Burglar fare now?" "Oh wait, not too well, I imagine." And she just laughs at her. But as soon as she interrogates her, she says, "No, I'm not giving you information until it's actually like a human face." As you can tell, the crackers are just a fake. As Luffy hit one of them, realizing that it cracked a bit, but that's about it. So this, the real cracker came out saying, "It's what you wanted, me." "Well, who cares? Your dumb captain can't fight me anyway. He left you." Nami says, "No, he didn't. He's invisible." Before he can say anything, he's stabbed right in the throat by Luffy, saying, "This won't kill you, but well, it will kill you soon, but you have around 5 minutes or so." Luffy left enough there as he walks away with Nami, and Cracker's soldiers just hit the ground, just destroy it. Cracker's down on the ground dying. 2 minutes later, thankfully, what was her name? Brule found him, and she healed him for a bit. But she actually asks how he was beaten, and then he says he was tricked by them. Luffy used invisibility, and Nami ended up tricking him. It was a whole thing. So yeah. Now there's more fights, like Luffy versus Katakuri. So yeah. But this fight, Luffy knows the ins and outs of Katakuri's fruit, like around on the same level as he does. So yeah. So now what are Luffy's devil fruit abilities that he's going to use for this fight? So Luffy got the Bari no Mi, which he needs to be like confuse Haki into his barriers probably, or just coat them in spikes to make them like he has Bari Nomi's fruit, but a lot better. So yeah. So when he came to Katakuri's first attack, Luffy's coded like just use a giant barrier to block it. But then he started realizing things that Bartholomew showed him, as Luffy doesn't use his fruit too often, but he has complete control over it. But some of Bartholomew's techniques were a bit unique. So yeah. So Luffy eventually got a safe distance away, allowing him to block a few attacks, but then make a giant barrier. But then coated that giant barrier in spikes, and the barrier turned black. See through, but black. But then Katakuri realized what this meant. Its barrier is basically unbreakable. Which had to basically punch at it, and had to punch it away, but nothing just destroyed it. Nothing would break it. When Luffy shot the barrier at top speeds, and Katakuri's like stabbed a bit by it, and right as it would kill him, Luffy made the whole thing just kind of flat, and it just completely mowed down the mirror dimension. By the time the Katakuri is defeated, Luffy came back saying Luffy's barely even touched, and Katakuri is nearly dead. She didn't let Luffy out of it, telling her that the fight was good, but Katakuri simply could not counter his own abilities. Unless Luffy keeps fighting someone who has the same amount of knowledge on the Mochi no Mi that he does. So yeah. With this, Luffy basically ends up leaving the mirror dimension and fighting Big Mom, as the fight between him and Katakuri lasted a total of 3 minutes. So yeah, or probably like 10. Luffy for like 5 minutes debating what fruit he should use, another 5 beating up Katakuri. So yeah. Or like the first 5 sizing him up, the 5 other minutes were beating him up, were beating him to a pulp. So yeah. But now against Big Mom. So yeah. Also, the one thing Luffy has here is knows no future sight. That's one thing he lost, but in exchange for tons of strong abilities. So Big Mom, he knows her fruit in and out. It's just that he doesn't use the fruit at all. So yeah. But against Big Mom, it'll be a pretty simple fight actually. So, or hopefully, but let's find his new devil fruit. Yeah, Luffy getting the wax fruit, and will completely kind of kill the whole kind of use the giant wax cake thing that Mr. 3 had used. And it turns basically all the soldiers into just kind of stiffing them up as Sanji and all the allies just evade. So yeah, so everyone coated in wax and touched Big Mom. Before she used Prometheus to bail her out, Prometheus is completely coated in wax as well. So yeah. Then when she's completely coated in wax nearly until it comes to her mouth, Luffy just went full speed ahead with Sanji, instead Luffy's in a giant wax boxer. And with him and Sanji would use one combined blow on Big Mom, so you're flying through her own whole cake chateau. This did not knock her out at all, but more or less she's pretty scared that she nearly died. That's the one thing that happened. So yeah. But then Luffy and Sanji so much to them, they're the most powerful state. Sanji having double jambe, Luffy having wax boxer. And they really well on Big Mom using Haki infused attacks. By the time they're done, Well, eventually it led on to, I would probably say, just them leaving. But Jinbei does not need to be, does not need to be left behind, because all the Straw Hats, well, that were there, they're all in like pretty good tack, like they're all intact pretty well, and no Big Mom pirates are chasing them. Big Mom nearly died. That's the important thing here. So yeah, because Luffy fought Big Mom at the same time that Sanji was distracting her. That was like the same time that they're fighting. So yeah. With this, Luffy and the Straw Hats leave, heading to Wano. Where here, Luffy doesn't really need to use Devil Fruit at all until it comes down to like, I'd probably say his first fight against Kaido, where he gets one-tapped. That's like the only fight he has to use like Devil Fruit in. Because everyone else is simply just too easy for Luffy. He's a lot faster, stronger, smarter, better hockey, besides Future Sight. He currently is learning it. So, yeah. So, everything Luffy's a bit better in besides observation hockey. But that's the only thing he's not that good in. So, yeah. Actually, with better hockey training, he may actually have it. Or begin getting the basis of it. So, yeah. But the fight against like Kaido for the first time. Luffy knows this fruit in and out. He's used it before. So let's find out what fruit Luffy could use against Kaido. Because that's like the one thing he needs to use. Oh my god, the fight is Dragon versus Dragon. I'm gonna be so happy. You guys don't know, Kaido's fruit is the Uonomi. Luffy rolled that exact same fruit. I've never been so happy about things in my life. Well, I have, but not related to what ifs. Oh my god. So yeah. Now Luffy rolled the fruit and immediately had his eyes widen in just joy. And Law asks, like, weren't you angry like a second ago? Luffy says he rolled the same fruit that Kaido has. And him and Kaido are pretty much in the same amount of skill. Because Luffy has to be as he's watching Kaido use abilities. Well, Luffy turned into a dragon, but his dragon is red, not blue. So yeah. He let out one Boros breath, Kaido let out his own, and it's most of a battle of equals. When after 2 minutes, they both revert back to their normal forms, and they're equal in durability and everything. They're basically equal in every single stat, besides like raw strength. But yeah, well, speed and strength are like speed, strength, and intelligence are like the three differences in their fights. So the main factors like speed, strength, speed, strength, and intelligence. Those are like the three differences. Luffy has the edge in intelligence. Kaido has the edge in strength. Luffy has the edge in speed. Luffy has all around better just stats than Kaido does currently. There's not in hockey, but it's just actually somewhat overwhelm Kaido and throw him around, but to some degree. But his Devil Fruit wore off eventually. But he needs to use another Devil Fruit in an instant. So what other Devil Fruit could he use in an instant? So yeah, pause. So he hit the Door Fruit, which is pretty handy for running away. So the fight between Luffy and Kaido kind of just is most very drawn on to the point where the fight ends by daytime. Like Luffy had the fruit for 5 minutes, sure. Kaido's tired out by Luffy using the Door Fruits. Luffy just pulls him to the ground, throws him around. Then hides, throws him around again. Like, Kaido's just being worn down by Luffy over time. Point where the end of the fight is just, like, him being exhausted. Like, he does not think he can fight anymore. That's just how tired he is. But yeah, Luffy's just feeling the same way. He uses too much energy like he did after Marineford. And he passes out on the spot. But Kaido just falls to, like, one knee panting. But that's about it. But this doesn't lead on to basically, I would say, like, maybe, what was it? Yeah. So we can probably go on to maybe, like, Luffy and, Luffy cuts out Kaido, not quite. Kaido kind of picks up Luffy, trying to at least. But all the strats are a bit better than canon with how much stats they have, be like strength, speed, durability, everything. So Zoro was in the middle, kind of like protecting everyone from the Boros breath while they kind of collapsed under. Because Zoro was with the Straw Hats in this one. They found him a bit easier, mainly Luffy found him. So, yeah. Zoro kind of blocked off a bit of the Boros breath while they kind of fell underground. But then they emerged immediately, seeing Luffy had to fight Kaido as an equal, which was kind of hard for them to watch. No, hard for them to escape. But as soon as Kaido tried to take Luffy, as Kaido's very exhausted, to the point where his durability is even lower, Kaido's cut across the chest, leading to basically a giant scar that Zoro has, resembling Mihawk's, actually. This scar resembles Mihawk's, that was like the one that Mihawk gave Zoro. Zoro gave one to Kaido that resembles that exact scar, which made Kaido just yell in pain immediately. But then Zoro kept like leading on with like onigiri, two-sword style, like just everything he could. All starts even joining in to the point where Kaido needs a king and queen to come stop them. But there's no time for Law to get down there with his crew, including Luffy, to wake up. So Luffy grabbed Zoro, grabbed Kaido by the horns, throwing him straight into the air as high as he can. King and Queen went to go grab him, only for Zoro and Luffy to jump up, grabbing Queen by the neck, throwing him around, slamming him into King. And some King and Kaido. Luffy holding Queen by the neck, still beating the the Beast Pirates with Queen. But eventually they're surrounded by numbers, and Luffy's simply just too tired to keep fighting anymore. The threats are being pressured by Kaido and King and Queen, so yeah. Which does lead to all-around surrender, until Luffy has an idea, which leaves him coding his fist in hockey, punching the ground, using versus Conqueror's hockey at the same time, leading to knocking out a few guys, and telling the Straw Hats to just run away. But as they run away, eventually it leads on to basically, they run away, it leads on to basically, I would say, like, probably just them running away, but Luffy passing out again. So, Luffy's the one arrested, but Law follows them all the way to the prison. Yeah. So Law ends up knowing where Luffy is, finding the guard that has the keys, taking the keys, and kind of holding on to it. So yeah. But eventually we go on to basically just Luffy seeing Kid in the prison, and Luffy told Kid how the fight between him and Kaido went, which did amaze him, but yeah. So we go on past this now to basically, I would say, like, we probably go on to maybe just, like, I would probably say, I guess like, well, Kid would never escape because Law convinced him to stay. As Law knows where Killer is, Zoro fought him, and Law had to be the one to fix him up. But yeah. But we go on to basically just, I would say, Kid staying behind with Killer being brought back. But by the time of the fight, like the whole tournament thing happened with Luffy, Zoro, Kid, and Kyogoro, like holding the whole tournament thing where they can use devil fruits, but not hockey. Well, they can use devil fruits in hockey, but it's a bit harder. Well, in the fight, Kyogoro like instructs them on how to use rure-rure, and they do just that, which they do thank him for. So, yeah. When Kid learned how to use rure-rure, he immediately tore off his own collar. Then Luffy tore off Kyogoro's collar. Luffy's on the verge of rure-rure already, like in canon he was already. But Luffy has better arm in hockey, so he learned it a lot faster. So tore off his own collar pretty easily, and then saved Kyogoro. Well, Kid threw his collar at Queen, then so did Luffy and Kyogoro. So yeah, the collars crash into him, and kind of blows a blow right in his face. But Luffy tries to use Stealth abilities. He hasn't used it for a long time. So yeah. Alright, the fruit that Luffy got is 42, or the Hitonomi Model Daibutsu, or Model Buddha. So yeah, Luffy immediately turns into a Buddha, and it basically like the whole brunt of the Beast Pirates with basically a giant shockwave. It was created kind of like a giant it was a shockwave, but it kind of made them all pass out on impact with how hard it hit them. So yeah, even Queen passed out. So yeah. Now with this, we go on to basically just Luffy and them escaping, and then as Queen tries to stop them, just another shockwave, just knock out Queen all over again. But Luffy's shockwave destroyed the whole prison itself, so everyone was freed. Like, everyone was freed. But yeah. So, after this, we go on to, I'd probably say, now, like, Luffy versus, what was it? But, Paul. Sorry, there's construction outside. Yeah, so Luffy will escape, regroup with the Straw Hats. And, with this, we can go on to probably just prep for Onigashima. But it would have to take a bit longer, because they have a lot more numbers with them at the same time. So, yeah. But also, they do know that Kaido's prepping something. So until they figure out what it was, they have to get ready for that. Kaido and Big Mom's plan, their own plans, and how to make sure they have all their numbers. So, yeah. Which leads actually Zoro unlocking Conqueror's Haki a bit early, even Conqueror's Haki coding, including Luffy, who learned Conqueror's Haki coding. So with this, they all learn it, and, not they all, just Luffy and Zoro and Kid learn it. Everyone else just learned a lot better Haki and control their devil fruits. Well, Luffy in the meantime had awakened his devil fruit through training with Kid and Zoro and Law. Well, Kid and Law awakened their fruits. Well, Kid, Luffy, and Law all awakened their fruits together. They just train each other as well. But yeah. So we go on to probably just Onigashima raid, which goes very similar until it comes down to the rooftop. But Luffy insists that Zoro fight King, and Luffy says that Kid and Law can know Big Mom. He wants to fight Kaido all over again. First time with the battle equals, but Luffy got too tired. But now his energy reserves are a bit better. It should be a lot more fun fight. As Kaido does Lilin, handle the two brats, he'll have a lot more fun time with this. So yeah. Now let's roll Luffy's new fruit. Pause. So Luffy's currently an awakened user and decently experienced with his awakening. So the fruit he rolled is the Magu Magu no Mi. He uses the fruit about as good as Aki Inu does, and Luffy's currently on the same level as the Yonko, which may put him near the newly an admiral level fighter. So yeah. So he immediately ran like right at like Kaido. Use one red dog attack, and he kind of calls it red ape instead of red dog because he's Luffy. But nailed it right in the face of Kaido, burning his face to the point where his eyes like burned shut. When Luffy kept just nailing in Kaido with multiple burning attacks for 5 minutes straight. The point where his eye does recover a bit because of just his own healing factor, but Kaido's body just keeps being scorched. So yeah. And then we go on to just Luffy and Kaido keep fighting with these just many conquerors and everything. Anytime Zoro was watching this fight with Sanji had wakened 7 nights a bit early in the training, so he beat Queen a bit faster. Same with Zoro, who conquers Haki Coding a bit early, allowing him to master Enma in the training, not in the middle of the fight, which allows him to beat King a bit quicker. So yeah. So Law and Kid also work on their energy, which allows them to beat Big Mom full on. So yeah. Now, Luffy eventually does need to use a whole different double fruit, so yeah. Alright, the fruit that Luffy got is the, The Nui Nui no Mi, or the Stitch fruit. So yeah, so Luffy used that fruit to stitch Kaido into the ground. And, well, Kaido can't really move anymore. Luffy ended up taking his Kanabo, coating it in Conqueror's Haki Coating, flipping it down on Kaido's face, knocking him straight through Onigashima completely. With Kaido being sent flying through Onigashima, well, Kaido's defeated with that one attack, and everyone sees Kaido just defeated. This big one was sent flying through Onigashima on the other side, and everyone sees her defeated as well, with Kid, Law, and Luffy stepping out, as they just laugh. And since Luffy's bounty when he gets a new bounty would be a lot higher, because he beat Kaido on his own, so, yeah. But, well, I'm probably gonna, in this part here, this is going to be the first One Piece movie that's not a part in a while, besides, the Kisuke Luffy. But, yeah. Also, I'm working on part 2 right now. I guess you guys did reach the light goal, but I have a lot more videos to put out in in my break I'm gonna have. So yeah. So adios. You guys enjoyed. If I talk too fast, I was a bit more excited on this what if. So it may be hard to understand. I understand. So put the video in like 0.75, and you guys will get the proper speed. I know. Adios.